Good morning, our students. How are you today? Today we have a new unit, Unit 12. So open your pupils book, page 116. Here is the lost city. Today just we have here, you should listen to CD and we will take the new words for this lesson, okay? So let's start, please.
Pupils Book, Unit 12, page 116. Reading.
The Lost City. The adventure began when Jenny sat next to a giant ear. "I'm too hot and tired to go any further," she said. "We left the oasis hours ago. It's time for a rest." She put her bag on the hot rock beside her and then exclaimed, "Look at this! It's an enormous ear." She stood up and brushed a little sand off the rock. "Here's an eye, and down here there's a nose. It's a huge face." Uncle Jim was amazed. "It's the head of a statue," he said. "But why is it here, in the middle of the desert?" Pete was looking at the ground. "These big flat stones look like a floor," he said. He stepped onto the first stone. It slid away under his foot and he nearly fell over. Uncle Jim grabbed his arm. They stared into a narrow, dark hole in the ground. "What's down there?" asked Pete. Uncle Jim knelt down and shone his torch into the hole. "What can you see?" asked Pete. Uncle Jim was silent. "Oh, isn't there anything down there?" asked Jenny. She sounded disappointed. "There's a big room down there," said Uncle Jim. "I can see tall pots and furniture. It might be very valuable. I must phone the City Museum." Just then they heard a distant hum. Jenny looked up. "A car's coming," she said. "Quick, let's put this map over the hole," said Uncle Jim. "We shouldn't tell anyone about it. Sometimes people take valuable things and sell them as souvenirs." "How can we hide the head?" asked Pete. "I know," said Jenny. "I'll put my big scarf over the head. If we put the water bottles and some fruit on the scarf, it will look like a picnic. Then we'll sit on the head. Hurry!" A big silver 4x4 roared round the sand dunes. Two men got out and walked across the sand. "Hi," said the first man. "Are you looking for something special?" "We're not looking for anything at all," said Uncle Jim. "We're just tourists." The two men looked at them suspiciously. "If you find anything interesting, we will pay you money for it," said the second man. "We haven't seen anything interesting all day," said Jenny. "No camel trains, no ruins, not even a date palm. It's all very boring." The two men drove away, and Uncle Jim phoned the museum. He spoke to Professor Hamid for a long time. Professor Hamid was an archaeologist who worked at the museum. When he arrived, he looked into the hole. "Have we found something exciting?" asked Pete. Professor Hamid smiled. "Do you remember the two men who were in the 4x4? Pete and Jenny nodded. "Those men are looking for something." "Treasure?" suggested the children at once. Professor Hamid nodded. "They are looking for a lost city," he said. "And guess what? I think you have found it."
Okay, thank you for your listening. Now we have here the new words for this lesson at first. Today just we have the new words, okay? So Number 1, desert, oasis, giant, hours and H silent letter, exclaimed, sand, amazed, statue, stepped, grabbed, torch, hall, valuable, museum, kneel, K silent letter, palm, souvenir, distant, tricky, suspiciously. Okay, again, desert, oasis, giant, hours, exclaimed, sand, amazed, statue, stepped, grabbed, torch, hall, valuable, museum, kneel, palm, souvenir, distant, tricky, suspiciously. Tomorrow we'll continue, our students, please. You should now try to read this lesson again and again and listen to the CD. Thank you for your listening today.